simple but sophisticated soup that is beautifully bold in color. And we're gonna garnish it with something from the garden and the ocean. Sometimes when I'm thinking about what to have for dinner, I start with the garnish and move backwards. And you know, inspiration can come from the funniest places and you just have to pay attention. For example, my friend Carrie is growing these gorgeous little pea shoots in her backyard, and this innocent little thing dictated this whole meal. I also have gorgeous purple African basil that I found at the market, and it's quite strong, a lot stronger than regular basil, so it is calling out to be a garnish. It's just a little work of art. And how about this wacky garlic scape? They are actually the top of the garlic bulb, and they're usually, well, often discarded. But I'm going to use it. It tastes just like garlic, and it kind of is like a chive, kind of a mixture of a garlic and a chive. Another garnish is fish, white fish. I'm using tilapia today. It's a nice, mild, freshwater fish. And all of these things are going to garnish a very basic pea soup. And let me show you how to do that. So let's start with the fish. We'll marinate it in a little bit of fresh lemon juice. Don't worry about the seeds. Coat it in olive oil as well. Now you don't want to leave the marinade on the fish for too long because the lemon juice will actually cook it. Strangely, all those acids in there. A little bit of salt and pepper. And any herbs that you have, I'm going to use some of this gorgeous basil. Just the little bits that aren't too strong. Turn it over, coat it in all of this deliciousness, and set that aside for a few minutes. Then I'm going to get going on the onions. Onions are an amazing way to fill your home with gorgeous aroma. Kind of relaxes me too because I know the dinner is underway. Little butter and oil will keep the butter from burning. Swirl that around. And then get going on the onion. Cut through the top of the onion right to the bottom, and then do some horizontal slices to the root tip, but not straight through. The root kind of helps in holding the onion together while you chop it so it doesn't spread all across the board. And then you have these perfect little cubes. And now for the wacky garlic scape. Kind of have to tame this thing. Chop it into little pieces. Oh, it's amazing how fragrant it is. It's kind of a mix between garlic and chive, I think. Chop up these bits. Add them in. It's just starting to sizzle a little bit. At this stage, it's good to add a little pinch of salt. It will bring out the flavor in the onions and speed up the softening process. And add the frozen peas. There we go. You could easily use fresh peas, but it takes so long to shell them, it would be a shame to put them in a soup. Kind of need a baseball game or something to watch while you're doing it. So frozen is perfectly fine in this situation. We'll add a little stock and let them simmer away. There we go. Just cover the peas. All right, while that cooks down a little bit, I'm going to get going on the fish. So let's swap burners. A little bit of oil and some butter for flavor. Take the beautiful tilapia. I'm going to move my little seeds aside. Just let that go for a bit. Okay, just check and make sure that it's nice and crispy and brown before you turn. Yep. I think we're there. It is smelling very good in here. Okay, it's good to go. Off the heat. The fish will continue cooking in the pan. And this looks ready to be blitzed. You don't necessarily have to blend your soup. but I'm looking for a nice smooth palette so my garnishes can really shine. So I'm going to whiz it, just in a kind of a rustic, chunky fashion. But I just want to take away all the rough cuts of garlic scapes and uneven bits of onion. There we go. So hot. Very good, but it needs some salt. It's a little flat. And some pepper. And at this stage, it's nice to add a little cream to make it velvety. And it also softens the flavors a little bit. Just get a lovely bowl. Ah, it's so gorgeous. All right, now tilapia, fried in butter, and pea soup. They could easily be served separately, but together, honestly, they are more than the sum of their parts. Garnish with these beautiful little pea shoots, the star of the show, and some purple basil. The soup goes to 11, I'm convinced. All delicious. Is this a soup or a fish dish? It doesn't matter. Love knows no boundaries. It's gorgeous. Enjoy. Pea soup.